New Always Talking Shit Show.
Yo,
What's good? What's good?
it's your boy Talkin.
It's your boy Akeem Magic.
You're back in tune with another session of the
Always Talking Shit Show. Podcast. Get some light up in this mouth. Say, yeah, we have to get a little light in this joint. And we know you ain't got that.
Yeah, me a couple shades of darkness I ain't had before.
So what's good, man? Hey, I tell you what. If you woke up today and you was free, hey, you know what? You know some crazy shit? I went to check I was on my way out to the gym, actually, this morning. And fam, I walk outside. I see a motherfucking marshal identify me, say something to his partner. He in a completely, hey man, they out there in some new shit. I can't remember the kind of car. It wasn't a Chevy. It wasn't a Ford. It wasn't none of that.
He
SUV.
identified you. What the fuck?
Nigga, he looks at me, direct eye contact, and then, like, you know what I'm saying? He got paper in his hand.
Like they was looking for you?
Fam, so, you know, I'm like,
Not today. Wednesday roundup out this motherfucker?
bro, I just.
Because they be doing that shit in Reno, nigga.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure they do some variation of that shit everywhere. But I genuinely, it wasn't that I thought that, but it was like, oh, that's what that is right there. Like, so I stopped and kind of looked at him like, man, what a mother, you know what I mean? So, bro, I'm frustrated. I just closed the door and started walking towards his car. Like, man, I'm about to
If you
approach
go
them.
come get me, come
Yeah,
get
bro,
me.
like, don't be
nigga,
looking
I'm
at
not-
me.
Yeah.
Like,
we
I'm,
ain't- we
you
ain't
know what I'm
doing
saying? Like,
this.
what's popping? Like, hey, what's
Yeah.
going on over here? And the
Yeah.
dog, as I'm walking to the car, he jumped out the car. He's like, hey, man, good morning. And, like, almost swin moves me. Like, nigga, get out my, like, I was too close to him. Like, and then he kind of looked back like, nigga, what you doing?
Getting in my motherfucker.
Yeah, because if you see the way the cars are parked, there's no reason why I'm in his walking space. Like, if I didn't think that I needed to come talk to him. And I'm not on the run. Like, I just, you know, like, it was just weird. Like, because, dog, I just, and this is what it is. I'm just writing out the notes for this. I'm writing out all this shit. And I'm hearing about the indictment. And, you know, you start hearing and reading this shit, man. You get to looking around. Dog, let me tell you something.
He said, am I being indicted?
All my friends that do shit that's illegal that I don't judge, but I'll be like, nigga, you still my friend. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't friends with y'all no more.
Yeah, because
Today-
I could go down with you. Just
Today,
they could have a
hey,
picture
no.
of us together.
It's with the
nigga.
it's with the new variations of the Patriot Act. You know, I don't know why my friends won't read and like pay attention to these things.
Right.
If I was gonna be a criminal, nigga, I'd study this shit. But I digress. So now if you sell drugs in large fractions or can be accused of doing so because you're tied into a big drug ring, which every drug dealer is to an extent, right?
Right. If you getting
Right.
bread, you know
It's all
somebody
coming from the
famous,
boat.
nigga. Right.
No, it's all coming from the boat. Whatever variation of your possession is, don't matter if they can connect you to that boat. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, from users to dealers, right? It's just something for these cats to think about because a lot of young, powerful black people will fall victim to these new rules and this new angle that they're playing. And the reason why, it's not because you're criminal minded. It's not because we're more criminal than anybody else. It's because we're criminalized more. And they just took a multi-million-dollar record label and turned it into a gang.
Whole gang, nigga.
And what did we say? You can go back
We talking about
and check this
Casanova,
pod.
nigga.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, we ain't there yet. We don't have a staff. I don't know what pod.
We went.
But go
said
back
the
some.
same shit about Casanova, nigga.
Before that, we said the initials of our podcast is ATS. You ain't gonna see that shit on a chain. You're only gonna see that shit on memorabilia sold legally with paperwork to back it because I noticed that then. I was like, bro, they turning anything black and urban owned into a gang. And now they've gotten proficient at it. Now they know exactly how to do this shit. Like, okay, I'm good. We good at it. And let me tell another thing. All you cities that decide that this gang banging shit look cool and y'all want to be gang culture, y'all don't like y'all feel slighted because you're not looked at as a gang city. and the gang cities are getting a lot of public knowledge. That's not us. That's not the culture doing that. Those are enemy fractions of the culture. And so what happens is it glorifies it to the young kids. So you be like in Minnesota somewhere, like, yeah, I want to be this. We're going to start this fraction. Or my cousin is this, and I used to live over there. So when I moved out here, I started this here. Well, what you don't know is you're a terrorist fraction. You're a terrorist group now. I know it's late. I know that the big homies ain't really telling y'all that. But you're a terrorist group now. And you seen what they did to Al-Qaeda. The hell makes you think
they ain't gonna do the same shit to
y'all? You don't have no contracts with nobody's government backing you and giving you weapons and intel and protecting you like Osama bin Laden did. If y'all cats think that Big U is as powerful in like a L.A. or like a WAC 100 is as powerful in a L.A. as Osama bin Laden was in his hood,
yeah. You're mistaken like a motherfucker. Y'all don't own no.
I'm gonna be honest. I grew up. I'm a black American. FBA to the death of me, man. I grew up around a lot of kids that claim blood and Crip and G, all that type of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. Like, none of they big homies, although a lot of they big homies have sent them on suicide missions, but there's a cycle of misinformation and misbehavior that can be contributed to that. So you damn near can't even blame the big homie. He had a big homie.
Right.
That's why they did it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they let y'all get a couple generations in so they can have the data to prove, like, no, we're going to exterminate this whole segment of black America because they're all terrorists. And what happens is, bro, if you got these cats that's NBA players, NFL players, they come from the same bottom neighborhoods. And sometimes they lean on some of these street dudes to survive.
Right.
To have money to make the basketball tournament. Hey, yo, my mom need a little money to pay these light bills so me and my sister can do our homework in the light, bro. Like, you let me hold it? I'll get it back to you. Now, this is a kid I'm using his name as an example because the world knows it. Not because this is actually what happened with him, but like you take a Derrick Rose kid or something, or Sebastian Telfair right out of Brooklyn, out of Coney Island, and think about what some of the people that run the neighborhood unofficially may have done for him with the idea, not because he promised them, not because they were man enough to and had the foresight to sit down and negotiate a deal with him for the future. Oh, man, we held you down. Now you're in the league. Hold us down. Right. But there is no stipulation on what that is. So now because I made it, I got to pay for your bail. I got to get you a lawyer. I got to do all that. Now, when you do that, because they understand, they watch us, we have a history of doing that all the way back from the Frank Lucas days, Bumpy Johnson days, right? Godfather of Harlem days. Now, they've made that behavior, that cultural phenomenon of the black so-called gangsters and drug dealers investing somewhat in black talent around them that isn't a part of that life. Now y'all all part of the RICO. You understand me? So you're the kid that this cat bought you sneakers and helped pay for you to fly around the country and kept your family safe. Let's not forget that. Kept you safe. Right. Kept cats from robbing you. Right? Kept cats from extorting you. It's sad what black American kids have to go through in their own neighborhoods and cities. But nobody really talks about that. This YSL shit is a perfect example of that. Because you got a kid like Gunna who was just sitting next to LeBron fucking James explaining what P means.
Yeah. That was a good little conversation.
And now he's an intelligent kid. Yeah. Now he's in prison fighting for his life. And if you read the indictment,
it's bad.
Gunna ain't really did
ain't
shit,
even
though.
Did nothing.
You know what Gunna did? Signed to a label that is based out of a neighborhood, I guess. So imagine this. Imagine Warren Buffett's companies being scrutinized for the crime in Omaha, Nebraska, or even the poverty rate. He's from there. Right. So you can say that's where a lot of his home base shit is, and he owns a lot of stuff, but he's from there. Mm-hmm. So it ain't no different from these boys. You don't think they own real estate around the country? You don't think they own little tire shops and trucking companies and shit? All of them do if you really pay attention. That's really what's making them a threat to the government. When they were just in the neighborhoods rapping about killing each other, and everybody was giving money to the Jay-Z's, the Nas, and the Drakes. They ain't have that. The feds wasn't interested in these people, right. and they keep an eye on them and might have a case for them. Like, they was looking at Treyway for damn near a decade before they even met Tekashi. Well, not before they met him, but before he started hanging around with them. That was just Daniel from up the block, the little weird kid.
Mm-hmm. Little Daniel from up the block.
Right? So now what happens is they see, oh, shit, little Danny from up the block, they hit the lottery. He got these niggas hanging out with celebrity. Oh, they with 50 now. Oh, they doing this. Oh, fuck that. They did the Nicki Minaj in the video. No, hell no. Yeah, we got to get them up off the street because now Shotty is getting rich. They know what he about, allegedly.
Ho, supposed to be stone killed.
Allegedly. They know what he's about. They know his body.
How much time did Shotty get? He didn't get as much as everybody else, right?
No,
that nigga was smart.
I think that he's about to get out in like a few years.
He wasn't. That nigga made sure he probably wasn't around for the most insane shit, like just in case.
Well,
if we go down, nigga, I don't need.
It's always like that.
Somebody got to be out here.
It's always like that. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. Too,
somebody got to be out.
Let me explain, man. This shit don't work without fall guys.
Right.
This shit don't work without older, more intelligent people exploiting the minds of So why is it that a young 14 to 20-year-old, 24-year-old kid that gets caught up in a RICO that hasn't contracted a major drug load, hasn't distributed a major drug load, hasn't murdered anyone, how is he getting life in 75 years? But then you tell us that, the frontal lobe don't develop till you're 25. And he's like, when do these kids get to be kids? Right. Are victims of their environment? Because I see America have a soft heart for child soldiers. Mm-hmm. Child soldiers ain't nothing but gang members. I don't give a look. Shout out to our international listeners. You will have to debate me in these comments, email me, get at me on social media. Child soldiers, what's the difference between a child soldier and I'm not going to pick on a region, but in a nation where they're exploiting child soldiers, right, and a kid that's being exploited by an international drug cartel that's being allowed to bring drugs into this country and distribute them amongst black and brown people to sell amongst each other and to the world and to the nation. They're giving guns, they're giving hangouts. How is this any different than a terrorist cell? It's not. And they done walked you motherfuckers right into that. See, because if they'd have did that shit to you in the 80s and 90s, the world would have been upset. Like, man, those are neighborhood kids that are in bad, impoverished areas. They're victims of racial injustice. Like, they're acting out. But in the early 80s, Crips wasn't killing, and Bloods wasn't killing each other. And that shit wasn't an international phenomenon. And it wasn't an LLC taken out. Somebody's making a lot of money off this. Enough to fight Nipsey's family.
Right.
In court. Continuously.
They always fight, but gang people always fight the wrong battles against the wrong people.
It's a scary thing.
They battle themselves.
Poor, ignorant, impoverished communities.
Always fight on each other.
And I'm soft on the word ignorant. I mean ignorant to the fact of what may really be at hand. We allow ourselves, as a culture, to let people that break crime, do petty crime, and break laws on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Maturate like there's something bigger than the law, only because the law don't care about us, doesn't care to protect our neighborhoods. They don't care that in Chicago, 20 kids is going to get killed today. Right. They'll report about it. They like to point it out during political seasons. as to why they need more government funding to deal with these murderous Negroes.
And they don't do shit with that money in Chicago. Chicago still look the same, police the same, patrol the same.
I like to ask myself sometimes, like, what programs was in effect to get them to stop killing us?
None. There's not.
I don't know.
I mean, we
that,
got
though.
the anti-lynching thing, but that doesn't go for cops.
No, I'm saying no. I don't mean it like that.
Oh.
I get what you're saying. Let me explain myself. Like, it was a time when you can kill a Negro just because you felt like it, and then you could tell the sheriff, like, or the police when they got there, like, oh yeah, nigger got out of hand. You could say that.
Mm-hmm.
That was justifiable. All white people were deputized above black people in that way. No matter what. 14-year-old white kid can do that legally to a 35, 45-year-old black man.
Mm-hmm.
So when we fought and we got to a point where we wasn't laying down, a part of the history that doesn't get taught,
mm-hmm.
right? When you had all the slave rebellions, when you had all the retaliatory violence, if you would, in the 60s, that's often, written out. What happened to where they were just like, you know what? If you go out and just kill a black person for no reason that we can cover up, or just, you just out there wilding, you're going to jail. Because at some point in time, that started to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know there was a lot of shit that was going on to, like, force that type of thinking. But I'm saying that it had to be a collective of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? From media changing their approach, from policing being, some of that being changed and rewritten to a small extent. But there's always been this yin and yang factor, and it's always been, we don't name these people.
Right.
But there's always been a certain fraction of people
right.
that are against this. Otherwise, this would be different. Shit that we agree on societally, like as a society,
mm-hmm.
we tend to flip the switch. I'll give you an example. Hey, man, people have a right to identify however they please to identify. You want to pull up a name of people that fucking lost their jobs because they've been doing something for 30, 40 years and haven't learned how to re-identify someone? And I'm not playing victim with that.
No, I get what you're saying.
Look how quick you're supposed to get on code. We don't say that. We can't say that no more. You can't do this. Nope. That's get on code.
Yep.
That has to be easier than getting on code from not killing people that you were taught when you were a child wasn't even human. So, like, we understand that it's been a long time since the Constitution has written that.
Right.
But that's hundreds of years of teaching also. How everybody's not going to unteach that. There's heterosexual men right now that because they feel attacked, because gay men have more rights
right.
and is more accepted.
Right.
They low-key self-consciously become gay male bashers. Now,
it's like the same thing with like immigration too. People.
It's with all these things,
all
right?
These things.
You get what I'm saying? So, but the
Somebody's
one thing we don't talk about
there.
in that way, you never see them doing think tanks on TV about, is what is that like when you've had grandfather after grandfather instill pride in your name and your way of life, and then all of a sudden around your dad, now you're in your 40s,
right.
Your dad maybe, let's say he in his 80s, right? And y'all get hit with you'll go to jail, you'll lose your contract, you do all this. You can't call them this.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm just putting black people in that now.
Right.
Can't call them niggers no more. You can't call them monkeys and jigaboos and coons and all these things.
Shit that they were raised saying the whole fucking time. And
just the presidents were referring us to Negroes and shit like that. Like, so what was that conversation like? What was that process like? And obviously we're still in that process. You're talking about less than 50, 60 years.
Right.
There's a lot of motherfuckers still alive that grew up
60 years ago
hearing us called N-word on national television and nobody batted an eye. They grew up knowing that, this is just for us and they can't come here. and then they had to send their kids to school with us.
Yeah.
What comes from that? You know what I'm saying? Because everything that comes from that is a direct correlation. There's a direct correlation to what we as a people, as FBA people, struggle with their institutions today. The always underlying that we shouldn't be here, or we should be lucky to be here. Look at how they treat an 18-year-old kid that decides he's not going to his in-state school in the South.
Right.
You from Texas and say you going to Auburn.
They gonna talk all types of shit about
your family might be in danger, bro.
Yeah. Same shit. Yeah, for sure.
But these are the same people that don't got nothing to say when your ass is out there getting murdered by the cops. Or nothing to say hey, how does these 14-year-old kids that really can't even afford a pair of Jordans have M16s and fucking rifles and guns and all this type of, how are they affording this? And who's letting them get their access to this? They don't care because it's always this thought that, those monkeys over there, they kill each other. This gang culture shit, I don't know if people pay attention. Like everything that FBA people do, it's starting to become emulated in ways that the very people that probably are hands-on in gang culture can't control. Mm-hmm. If you listen to Clubhouse and things like that, Twitter Spaces, you hear real-life gang members calling in, voicing their disdain for non-real gang members. Mm-hmm. And because what it is I heard a dude go off as deep as talking about the nightmares he has and the exact type of soap you need to scrub blood off your hands. How to pass the test, and he's saying that to tell his other dude, man, these, some of these dudes come from they know if they come from Arkansas, get a record deal. Now you live in Los Angeles. You scary because, nigga, you heard about Los Angeles and you want to be in Los Angeles. You don't want to be the dude. Okay, so you're a black kid and you want to be around black people. That's the thing, too. It ain't always safe around a bunch of white people in this country either. No matter how much money you have, you might not feel that way. So now you want to be around, you want to go get a haircut. That's the little waffle and chicken spot. I want to be there. That's the mall that everybody go to. I want to pull up too. That's my culture. Right. Well, that comes with certain things. So you might try to weather that storm like you would in any other city, right? But then, just like in any other city, you might realize, nah, I need to link up with some niggas. I need to make sure I'm good out here. Right. I kind of vibe with y'all. Y'all cool, nigga. We rock with each other. Everything love over here. I'm down with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with y'all. And now, what some people would call a friendly extortion takes place. Mm-hmm. Gangs in LA is already just, if you're not paying attention, they said it. Yeah, New York niggas, y'all might have created hip hop and be God MCs niggas, but y'all want this LA market too. So nigga, if you come out here, nigga, you're gonna have to pay up. In a whole nother way, LA artists that move out west do the same thing. Go through the same thing. It's just not gangs that depict it all. It's not gangs that are controlling it all. We don't look at gangs as black gangs as traditionally organized. But I don't think there's never been anything further from the truth. I just think it sounds crazy what I'm about to say. I just think there's a maturation process. Some of these gangs can end up being great adversaries for the community. And like we say, conglomerates and shit like that. Because everybody, for some reason, loves their culture. You listen to certain artists, look, man, it ain't too many people that has not listened to a Nipsey Hussle song and ain't just doing it on, even if you just mimicking him in the video, nigga, you fucked around and threw up a gang sign. Now, I think about that when I think about white kids that I know that love this culture and this music, but they don't say the N-word. Motherfuckers can rap every verse with every rap song, and nigga, don't ever say and skip, nigga, simultaneously over the N-word.
Every time.
That's why I be like, man, don't tell me because you lived around the corner from so-and-so and you did this. Like, nigga, it's all in you. It depends on you, the individual. You know what I'm saying? YSL, when I hear the district attorney.
Young Slime Life.
When I hear the district attorney. Hey, I'm glad you said that. I always was mad at Young Thug for hijacking the word slime. I wasn't mad at Lil Wayne for doing it because Lil Wayne never equated it to being blood. A lot of young people, because they thought, they heard Lil Wayne was blood and he had the whole country sue whooping at one point in time, they thought when he said slime, they just imagined like, okay, that's some blood shit.
Right.
So like even I think Thugger said that shit before. So them cats in the South and took that shit and made it a blood term. And Nori been saying slime
for years
since the 90s, fam.
Right.
And slime was another way of like, you know, maybe that's your sahab, that's your man's, it's your people's. What up, slime? Now you can't even say that shit if you ain't rocking that. Like, whatever, man. But the district attorney in Atlanta, not gonna lie, beautiful black sister, seemingly FBA. She not playing, y'all. And just like I told cats about the Trump thing, you don't want a female, educated, disciplined, with the resources of the United States government investigating anything that you're doing. We see what women do with iPhones and fucking droids and shit. Like, they hack them shits with no training. You know what I mean?
Right.
Figure out passcodes, all type of shit. Ask you questions days in advance to see what you say about it the next time they ask. You know how women do, right? Tricky, intelligent beings. Well, we don't do certain shout outs, so the sister over there made a statement a few years back that, hey, this is when everybody was saying T.I. was running around calling Atlanta the new Wakanda.
Right.
Everybody, go to Atlanta. Atlanta's where all the black millionaires is going. Atlanta is where the money, you can make money. Atlanta's the new, all right. So everybody's running to ATL.
Now everybody in Atlanta.
So what happens is crime kicks up. It starts becoming L.A. South. Because the gangs done see the blueprint on what to do when these rap niggas come.
Right. Put them on.
So
Put them
now,
on, bring money to the hood, nigga, to the gang.
So now you got these niggas that moved out there. They big time rappers and all that shit. They got these niggas around now. They got them around in the inner circles, and yeah, now you're getting swept up in the conspiracy because you might have gifted that person a large sum of money that ain't that much to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
the hiccups again, nigga.
Yeah.
Hate that shit. I'm glad I don't get them. We're getting like 3 hiccups.
Yeah,
that
so
shit
it's
go
just
right away.
It's just one of them things, bro. Like, that all spills into like current day shit in terms of now you have kids like Gunna that just signed a music deal. Yeah, you got the chain on. You signed to the label.
Yeah.
The feds hadn't thought to charge Snoop, Dre, and all of them in conspiracy and RICOs when they were trying to bring down Suge all those years.
Right.
Because they knew, per their investigation, that those guys was just artists.
They didn't have shit
Even
to do
when they
with
was
what's
talking
going
shit
on.
about shit, he knew those they ain't do nothing. Y'all got a little insight. And then they knew, y'all rapping ass street kid. We know y'all enough to know that y'all ain't gonna just tell. And if we arrest you, we can't keep you in jail for that long, and all we do is make you bigger stars.
Right.
Right? So they learned their lesson. You know what I mean? They learned their lesson, and next thing you know, voila. Oh, we got better at this shit now.
Rico.
Dog, I gotta go take a leak real quick, but I'm gonna pose this question. I'm gonna throw you this alley-oop while I get up. What, other than a rap label or rappers and R. Kelly, have they thrown a RICO at in the last 10 years? Like, you remember what RICOs was for? And who used to get hit with RICOs? They watering down the RICO.
I don't even think they're watering down the RICO. You know what I think it is? I don't think they knew how to use it the right way back then.
They got better, huh?
Yeah, they didn't. It ain't watered down no more. They ain't just throwing it out there. They just now know they can throw it at more shit. As far as I still want to know why the fuck Jack Harlow ain't fucking indicted, nigga. If we're bringing motherfuckers like Gunna and this shit who's just signed to the fucking label and ain't never done nothing, then that means fucking Jack Harlow, under the same guise and circumstances, should have the same fucking case. But because the nigga's white and his family got bread.
Okay, so hold on. He said Jack Harlow?
Yeah, so I mean, Gunna's under the same pretenses, nigga. Gunna and him are probably like the same. Gunna and him are probably the same age. Gunna and him are the same age, probably, nigga. If you think about it, nigga. So you can't. And somebody tried to make, because I was in the comments of when the stupid bitch was over there reading off the indictments, and we don't want to make this too sexy and go after everybody. No, you just don't want to go after the white boy who's got white money and white privilege behind him.
But what she? Oh, go ahead.
Because you're gonna fuck around, and Jack Harlow and them and his family money might be long enough to get you knocked off that seat you in. And Lord knows we don't want that.
And let's face it. There's a certain sympathy plea that our brothers and sisters of a lighter hue get when it comes to criminal. There's a such thing as boys being boys, or you'll get a judge that looks at a freaking rapist and say, oh, I don't want to ruin his life. Or another judge to another rapist say, oh, he has young kids. So instead of the 10-year average sentence that they recommend, he's doing 6 months and then house arrest.
Or they're going to talk about how great of an athlete he was, how his swim times were so great, and why he's a pillar to the community.
You want to hear the cold one? You want to hear the real cold one that they do? They don't talk about it at all.
Right. You see one, dog.
Can I give you an example of that? The Rams, just a year or two ago, had a white tight end, had a black fiance, and allegedly he accused her of flirting with some black guy at a party. And
use the word.
Oh, not the word. He broke her jaw, eye socket. He aerospinced her.
He's still playing, huh?
Ribs broke, eye, all that. He's a tight end in the NFL. And peep this. This is in the testimony. Everybody go look this up. Stephen A. Smith went off about this one morning, and they never spoke about it again. And I believe he got a talking to.
He did. Oh, for sure.
Hey, but peep this. She's laying there in her own blood. She wakes up, and it scared him. He's sitting there watching TV, eating. House is still messed up, right? She's scared to him, and he looks at her and says, "Oh shit, you're still alive?"
Yeah.
That, to me,
that's premeditated murder.
As long as we talked about Will smacking Chris, how do most people that's gonna hear this are gonna have to Google that and be like, because they calling me a liar right now when they hear it.
Because ESPN is owned by white people, because it's owned by Disney, who's owned by racist ass white people, even though try to sweep that shit under the fucking rug.
Facts.
So of course they don't want to see the white dude beating up the black girl, because they don't want the protest. They don't want the NFL players going out there trying to fucking kill this dude on that field, nigga.
Okay, that's one thing. That's one thing.
They don't want the publicity of
what about
Black Lives Matter or something like that at the football field. They don't want, because remember, if we're talking 2-3 years ago, this was in the height of all that shit.
Well, no. Yeah, and what I'm also saying is that, like,
niggas,
to me,
PR, nigga.
To me, it's even more sinister than that. To me, it's we don't want to expose the blatant double standard.
Right.
See, it's okay for the country to think that black people are inherently more criminal than everyone else.
Or did he get to keep playing football?
I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm not 100% sure. But my point is to that, and what I'll say in response to that question,
because hold on,
is it don't matter because we don't know his name.
The black dude. Let's talk about the black dude who beat up the white girl, nigga. That was all over.
You talking about the one
nigga.
that my beloved Cowboys got shitted on
for
giving him another contract.
Yeah.
Even though she recanted the story and all this other type of shit and all that.
But there was evidence of him beating her.
I'm not here to say any of those things. Yes or no?
No, I saw the video. Like, I'm not saying there's.
You're not the only one.
Oh, that nigga beat her ass.
But what I'm saying is.
But he got in trouble.
What happens in this country is, if you're going to be the victim and you go to court as the victim,
be white.
Fuck white. You're just going to be the court victim. You're the victim. And this man, our entity, has bread
and billions of dollars behind him because of the team he's on.
All teams have that. So what he'll do is walk into court But before, the lawyers done got to you because y'all used to live together.
And don't let that
right?
judge be a fan too. You fucked there too.
No,
nigga.
hold
Don't
on.
let
I'm
the
saying
judge be a
because
fan.
y'all used to live together, and now, yeah, I put my whatever. If you're this person, like, okay, yeah, whatever happened between us, that happened. I did that, right? However, here's this $2 million. The house that I live in that you like, because I got traded, because I fucked up over here, I'm going to act like I'll put it on the market, but I'm not going to sell it. We're going to sign that over to you. We're going to gag order this thing, and I need you to not show up in court. And that's what happened.
And women, y'all gotta,
Like,
and women gotta quit.
Not to the T. I don't know if that happened to the T.
I get that, but women gotta quit
I just wanted
taking
to get
that.
that
You
out there. I
gotta
didn't want
quit
to make it
taking
sound
that
like I said
route, nigga. Like
Yeah.
you guys get so dollar sign hungry and all that shit. You fuck off your own justice.
Do you know who else got to stop taking that route? Black mothers when they kill your children for no reason.
For sure, yeah. Stop taking the fucking settlement,
Because
the
you
gag
get
orders.
Because what they do is they'll give. Oh, they settled with her for $6 million for killing Sandra Bland, but that shit came with a gag order. So you can't tell the world what the media, old media, that has access to this information, refuse to tell the world that a white police officer got mad at a black woman and killed her. And justifiably so in his eyes. And guess what? That white police officer is back on another police force to where he can pull over another child, black person, a blonde white female that reminds him of his ex.
Mm-hmm.
See, this shit don't just. I think society got lazy and lackadaisical because it was just, oh, shit only happened to black people.
No, it
like
happens
white
to triggers,
moms wasn't
whatever
traditionally
triggers,
fearful of their kids getting treated like this unless they had kids with
black people,
a black person, right? So then their voices wasn't loud enough because they're sellouts. You know, they're lovers. You know what they call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now the numbers are changing. And so the conscious of the mind is changing. See, now there's a lot of white families that have biracial families members in the thick of the family. Mm-hmm. Like, no, my sister's kid. So I know that by being this race, you're not inherently violent. But they're starting to notice, yeah, man, my nephew's having a hard time at school. He's a smart kid, never gets in trouble. But for some reason, man, he has this teacher that every other day is something with him.
Yeah.
See, we've never had to have a conversation of this racial bias coming into schooling. We only talk about it in policing because they get to kill us. They get to incarcerate us at alarming rates that don't even make sense based on the crime. And I'm not talking about per incident. I'm talking about when you look at how many black people are in jail versus how many black people, based on the same system that put these numbers out, commit crimes. The shit don't add up. Based on our percentage of imprisonment, every black male, like 1 in 3, should have a felony.
Right.
And if you're not black, American, if you're not FBA and you don't know our culture, you don't come from none of this shit, you just migrated over here within the last 20 years, you might think that. And is that person really racist or stupid? Or are they making an educated guess based on the information that's given to them? I know a lot of people that moved here from other countries that have confessed to me that when they first got here, they were told to stay away from us. They were told all these kind of things about us. And that, you know what? I don't feel that way. My parents said that that's some bullshit and I can hang out with whoever I want to hang out. Like, we hear those stories all the time. Mm-hmm. But those aren't conversations we be having. You know what I'm saying? But I think the tide is changing in the fact that police are starting to get so cocky that what's the difference between one of these black people and one of you white people that ain't got no money? Or one of you white people that walk around with that damn stupid skateboard, huh? Shit get on my nerves.
Hey, because Karens love fucking with kids with skateboards, nigga.
Right?
Karens and Kens love that shit.
So that's my thing. It's like, this shit is spilling out. It's just like when they tried to flood black neighborhoods with drugs. You got to understand, black people at one point in time, go look at the numbers. Go look at the education and graduation rate, and go look at the crime rate in black settlements and black cities after construction. We weren't inflicting violence amongst ourselves. We had to be on the same accord to keep ourselves from being victims from white supremacy.
Yeah. That
were mad that we weren't slaves no more.
Do you know what's
they
fucked up?
And they had to get their asses off their butt and work
it's
for
fucked
themselves.
Up. This just hit me is like one of the only ways I can see everybody of color being of solidarity again is if we start getting lynched and treated as really badly again. Not the slight way they do it and get away with it, but they don't have the laws in place type shit.
You know what?
That's like, why does it got to take something like that?
You know what my response to that is? I respect where you're coming from.
That's the last time us as a people were that united.
I think that's, to me, I don't think that ever was the case. I don't think that black people on this earth at any time of our existence was ever fucking in full solidarity. We weren't.
But I'm saying that's the most
white people have ever been in full solidarity. No Hispanic people. That's something that they only do to FBA people. Is constantly talk about how people that look like you do bad shit to you.
No, I'm not even talking about that.
I'm not saying that you're saying that, but
my solidarity is like, nigga, stop spending our money here, spend our money here. Stop voting completely, nigga.
Well, see, but well, see, that's now we starting to get but see, that's the thing. It won't ever happen there either, because now you're talking about idealism. That's your idea that the solution to said problem is to remove the vote. So for every person that has that idea, you might get 30-40% of the culture, right? Mm-hmm. That's your tribe when it comes to that, because the other people is gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm more conservative.
And that 30-40%
and I have my reasons
is
for that.
who we need to be making into these our political figures and the people we back. Nigga.
Now you talking, because that's the American way. That's what the system is designed for, and everyone else has gotten free access without murder, without to be able to, us without the extension of the Native American tribes that migrated down here as well, right? Mm-hmm. So we were excluded from participation. So then it was like, okay, we're including y'all now. So here, take this course for 6 months, like a land grant college, like we did for all these white immigrants that came here with no skill set, no money, and no wealth. Mm-hmm. They didn't do anything to help educate us on the process. We had to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? We're the producer that bought his equipment and fucked up half of it before he ever got to use it properly, because he just had to learn trial and error. And now you're taking us to a washed down, a watered down, like, oh, this is how you do this. Like, no, we're not. No, it's two different things. You know what I mean? And that's just the fact of the matter. You can't make white financial institutions that made their bucks, their original dollars, selling us and insuring our bodies into slavery. Mm-hmm. You know how long you get to insure a 9-month-old black baby?
18 years.
A lifetime. You didn't get out of slavery when you was 18?
Fuck that.
You need insurance. Look how they do you with the car. Anybody tell me, nigga, when do we get to stop paying insurance? Get the fuck out of here. So the idea that you was going to stop paying insurance on black bodies is asinine. How do you think these Lords of Londons and things like that became these big time banks? Chase and all this shit. They were financing the slave trade. Mm-hmm. Right? So when you do that, now, okay, we're not financing slaves. Now we're doing oil. We're doing this. They don't have no reason to tell a poor immigrant that can barely speak the language that they shouldn't bet on you. Actually, it's a reason I should bet on you. You think that it's better over here. You don't want to go back to where you came from. We have more things for you. You're going to get right here. No, not even that. I'm talking about the people that, people have to understand. How is it that a certain group of American citizens that are accepted into the top colleges, they become pro athletes, entertainers, scholars, doctors, but the one thing that they struggle in doing, and even E40 said this, is getting a fucking business loan from the bank. Mm-hmm. And you wonder why black neighborhoods are bought out and bought up, not in residential sense, because they don't want to live next to us, because they know what happens next to us.
Commercially.
They know if you live next to us, the school's going to be shit, the playground's going to be shit, the cops going to be shitty. Mm-hmm. But commercially, every fucking neighborhood is every other ethnic group that's not black American. It's not because black people are incompetent or lazy. It's not because we're not creative, because everybody else also follows our culture.
We just don't.
If we're gonna talk our shit,
we don't get the resources. We don't have.
But
the
you can't go to
the
many banks. There's black millionaires that are fucking fighting with Wells Fargo to get a business loan for a storefront, nigga, in Detroit. And it's like, you know what? It ain't even worth it. I'll just go do real estate. Nigga, it ain't worth. I'll go do this. Like I'll go. That's how it ain't niggas that nobody wants to buy back they block.
We just don't have the
They're
ability.
Not, look what Nipsey Hussle went through in L.A. to buy that shitty ass fucking corner.
And look
man.
how quick they took it from him.
Fuck that corner.
Look how quick they took it from him, nigga.
Look how quick. Look what they doing. And they still ain't all the way took it from him. They fighting it. They doing what they do. They're doing what they do. And Nipsey's not here to tell his fans or the world. So because Black Sam's not a rapper, because Lauren London's fucking heart has been stolen out of her chest, and she probably don't even know who all to trust. God bless her. She has to worry about raising their kids. Mm-hmm. His mother and father just lost their baby boy. Y'all don't give a fuck about what they say, because she been told you he got assassinated. So it's the fake love for Akeem. Like now, everybody, want the marathon shit, but like, damn, nigga, the store ain't open, all right. You got motherfuckers, I was just reading about it, you got motherfuckers out there bootlegging this shit. And
Big U did.
Standing in front of the store. You know what I'm saying?
Big U has a whole like Crenshaw line with a different spelling and shit now. Fuck out of here. Not different spelling, but different font.
So like, those are the things that, and I don't, hey man, this is my whole thing. We know how people feel about shit, right? Like, you're not the first person to have a pink Porsche, but if you're the first person in this area, in this neighborhood, in this, around this way, that pull up with a pink Porsche or something.
No, but see,
let me finish. And then somebody else comes behind you, 6 months,
you copy,
a couple years later, with a pink Porsche. Like,
we know.
One might say,
you copied me, nigga.
I'll give you one other quick example. If you was always rapping and talking about you when you get to a certain, I'm gonna get this pink Porsche.
Mm-hmm. And somebody just outbuys it right when they. Yeah.
If I tell you, bro, as soon as we sign another deal, nigga, I'm splurging on myself. I'm gonna go get that watch Canelo had. You know what I'm saying? That AP nigga with the pink band. And I say that several times. And we get our check, nigga, and you beat me to the fucking store, nigga, and come pull up, nigga, like, man, I was at the AP, cop this. There's gonna be somebody in the comment section somewhere be like, hey, bro, you copied your man's. Like, I remember what happened? What's up with that?
What you ain't say nothing about no pink AP.
I ain't never heard you say
you
that.
wanted it when he said it. Yeah,
about.
now you got it.
And all I'm saying is, I don't know what's right or wrong in that way, but that's just our culture. That's what I'm saying. In our culture, you don't do that. Right? Even if in our culture, I don't care if you got the patent first. That's really our culture. Mm-hmm. Our culture is, y'all say yo, we say Joe. Mm-hmm. So take all that encompassing and then know that the CIA and the FBI is basically fixated on monetizing, controlling, and dare I say, distracting Black America. Don't take my words for it. Go do your research on the CIA and the FBI. It's a reason why these two entities was following a kid named Malcolm Little when he was 13 years old. Why would they do that? He wasn't Malcolm. We know he became Malcolm X at the prison. 28-something years old. He was a grown-ass man and lived a life of crime. Why were they following him? I'll go get the book. I'll show you the book. You know what I'm saying? Go get Malcolm X, the FBI Files by brother Carson Claiborne, who I had the privilege of meeting through my mother. Great dude. Great book. Because he worked for the FBI. And when he learned that, he was just like, man, my people don't know this. And when people that do know this say this because they don't have this information, they're called extremists and clucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they crazy. He's wild, nigga. He be on his conspiracy theories.
Right.
FBI ain't following no Malcolm X when he was a little boy. He ain't even know him. They got notes on this man. All the way leading up to before they killed him. So, now, take that concept of the FBI. Hoover said America's job is to make sure there will never be another black messiah. I don't know no black people, no FBA people that ever called Malcolm X or Martin Luther King's black messiahs. So I think it's lazy and very, like, forgiving to assume that that's where he was starting. Right. What's a black messiah, right? What's that idea encompassing, right? You start thinking about some kingmakers that have made it out of our culture. One thing that they all got in common is they stayed away from that gang shit. They stayed away from different things that you can tie them to, whereas these motherfuckers is fucking up, so you can use that to bring, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to name these people. I think, you know, if you think about it, you know who I'm talking about. So what I'm going to say is, when I left out of the room real quick, you were talking about Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow is not what this is designed for.
Nope. Unless he was on Wall Street.
Now you talking. Because this is not pity us. This is, they deal with us all differently. Mm-hmm. Parents deal with children differently. This son over here got an attitude. This son, I kind of got to watch how I talk to him because he be feeling himself, and I might have to slap the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. If I come in hot, he's naturally going to get hotter. It's going to get too hot, slap the shit out of him, right? That son over there, all I got to do is look at. He know what time it is. My bad, Pops.
Yeah.
Our whole lives, we will all love you all the same. Die for all three of you.
But we got to treat you all differently.
The wheel's going to get broken up in three.
Right.
But you niggas get talked to and treated differently.
Mm-hmm.
I probably even hang out with y'all differently. You know what I'm saying? If I want to have a good time, relax, and chill, you two can go. You ain't going.
Mm-hmm. You going to fuck the whole night up. We fighting everybody.
Your little sister got problems. Y'all two watch the house. Nigga, stay with your sister. Let's go. You get it? We all do it. The government, metaphorically, if there are parents, excuse my language, they deal with us all differently. I almost said something, but it was gonna get real weird. I didn't even know how to pause it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah. It was like, I ain't got that right now. So I'm just saying that to say they understand every last one of our fragments of culture. It's not just Black America. We're just Black Americans. Speaking from perspective. I'm pretty sure if you polled Latin Americans, they have a problem with all these kilos and influx of drugs being brought in out of Latin America, using their children and their family members as mules to do the shit, with the promise of jobs and citizenship. Imagine that. Now I'm in prison because I done got caught with kilos because I just want to go to somewhere where they're going to fucking treat me like shit because I'm Mexican. But at least I can ignore that and go live around other Mexican people and raise my kids, and we can go do something different. Because at least here, your kid has a choice to join the gang.
Yep.
Right? We can steer them out of that. Hell, if you listen to the real gang members, I've never met a real gang member that has ever advertised being a gang member. Facts. If you really pay attention to it. I think a lot of our young brothers and sisters have got caught up in that. And it became government informants as a way of survival tactics. And now the new gang is a rapper. See, because there's not going to be no more Rayful Edmonds, bro. Ain't going to be no more of those big meaches.
No.
They didn't figure out how to cut that shit out. You niggas ain't getting rich.
You ain't kingpin dope dealers no more around this motherfucker. If
it's designed for us to put our foot on your neck, how dare you buy a Rolls Royce?
Right.
You know how many cops risking their lives for that $1 million pension?
And will never get a Rolls Royce.
And your little black ass got $1 million watch on. and you came back to the hood. Now we can spin it like, oh, he real. He came back to his neighborhood to show them boys, man, you can make it out. But them cops see you, they own you more than the Jack boys. Mm-hmm. Captain, you should see the motherfucker. You know the Rolls Royce you were looking at?
He got it.
They had 3 of them. Painted, one was painted like a noun later. You know how ignorant we get with the shit, boy. But see, they always looked at us like that. As I delve into our native, ancient, aboriginal history, there's writings about the black Americans. Don't you ever forget it. There's been notes, there's writings, there's essays written about the black people in America and how outlandish they were, material-wise, and the things that they did. Something that has always been equated to our people here. Like, well, y'all do shit differently. You know what I'm saying? Some things they criminalize. Some things, people take. Mm-hmm. But all in all, at where we are in 2022, there is a understanding of who drives a certain culture here. So how do you attack that? Because now my fucking kids that I used to tell to stay away from your ass and that you were ignorant, that you were dangerous, that you were all these things, got to see your poetic side. Mm-hmm. Because remember we were talking, like, bro, if this was another race of people, this might be the West Side Story. You can't like the West Side Story and be mad at these kids from the West Side of Harlem. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the story. Can't love Romeo and Juliet and not understand why the Bloods and Crips hate each other. So it's the perception, it's the way it's masked. And now I keep coming back to this. Because you was on it early. I ain't even get to get my shit on you. Let me watch Jack Harlow ain't on this shit. What I heard her say is what you said, but she also, I'll add this, she also kind of said that, like, there's more indictments coming, and the people that we for surely got right now, we getting, they all active. She said a key thing. They added, basically she didn't use the word clout, but she described it. So now they're saying it don't matter if you're not an active participant in this RICO. It don't matter if you didn't rent the car. Because, see, that's how they used to get you, the celebrity type people or the people with money. You rented the car, you paid for that gun probably, you gave them money and then they purchased that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You bought all of them chains as a sign of camaraderie to your fellow gang members.
With that stupid ass logic, though,
that is stupid logic.
Then everybody at a bar should be going to prison for fucking drunk drivers murder.
All I'm saying, exactly, because somebody bought one of them drinks, my nigga.
And the bartender served it, so the bartender should go to prison.
And that's the same logic, but they'll tell you that we're reaching and we're crazy because they don't experience it. No one else is really criminalized in this way.
Right.
So I don't think people all the way fully understand how deep this shit is. So when you look at the RICO case and as they breaking it down, dog, even I was listening to this lawyer, he was like, man, the problem is perception. Yeah. The problem is black people hear this music and can decipher realism from truth, like right. From the fake shit. We're from these communities. There's black people from Chicago that laugh when they look at this shit on the internet and be like, bro, what are y'all talking about? Like, I live right down the street from O-Block. Yeah, shit happens out here.
I walk past that motherfucker and
yeah, shit happens here. But this is still a major street in an American city.
Right.
This ain't Iraq where all the gang members are the law.
This ain't the Medellin cartel.
When these motherfuckers see the cops, they drop them things and blow just like every other neighborhood so-called thug.
This ain't the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico and shit.
Where they own the police and shit like that. Come on, bro. Like, so it's this misconception of power. And it's this forced reach. I was joking, but I wasn't really joking. Right. Nigga, Snoop is the reason why there's Crips in Minnesota, bro. Mm-hmm. It was a time when Snoop was Crip walking on that stage that everybody wanted to say cuz. Lil Wayne is the reason why a lot of small cities have blood fractions. Some of them motherfuckers was just Lil Wayne fans. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say fractions, that might be too deep, but like, well, fuck, I'm gonna just say this because it's real. Fake versions of the Bloods and Crips and GDs and Vice Lords and BDs are sprouting up everywhere.
Yeah, because
it's being attached to the hip hop culture.
Right, it's a coolness to it.
And now they're making it cool, right? When you remember when it was a time in hip hop that shit wasn't cool, nigga, go listen to Headed for Self-Destruction. These were the top rappers.
I remember when you had to kill something to be a gang member. You couldn't just claim some shit.
And yeah, in certain cities and areas, yeah, that's exactly how it was.
Like, nigga, you couldn't just have, like, always wasn't good to have a blood set somewhere else that wasn't L.A. Because if some L.A. Bloods came there, nigga, you might.
See, but it was so small then.
Yeah.
And relatively, like, and it's the thing. The real gang members probably did go travel. They was moving somewhere and seeing people doing their shit and was like, and they probably checked them. G checked them like, bro, you ain't from Compton. That's all. Wack does it on fucking Clubhouse all the time. But what he realized, he even said it. You know what? If it ain't in Cali, I'm not addressing that shit no more. Because y'all, I can't tell, nigga, if you 2-3 generations are killing each other, nigga, you a gangster. And y'all a gang. Y'all do shit different than us. So y'all name is Blood, but y'all different fraction. We can either get down with each other and make some money, or and be cool with each other and stuff like that, or they're just another gang that you're gonna war with. My message is what I want to get off is like, I'm talking to FBA people. What the fuck makes y'all think that the United States government was really gonna let y'all get that shit off? If they wouldn't let you be kingpins, once niggas start becoming millionaires off crack, they got that shit the fuck up out of here. Once black kids start making millions of dollars off heroin, they crack down on all that. What makes you think they're going to let you just be a gang leader for 20 years, turning every young boy and girl in the neighborhood into some kind of gang legion? They don't let you do that. Look what they did to the Nation of Islam. Look what they did to the Black Panther Party. They let y'all rock so long because it was no positivity originally being disseminated from it.
I'm about to make it. There was no positivity coming out of it. So because of that, yeah, y'all just killing each other. So we'll let it rock 20, 30 years, 40 years now, 50 years. Now that the shit is becoming a problem and coming into our communities and spilling into our homes, and you guys are becoming rich, gotta go. Dog,
what you about to say?
I just saw some shit on Facebook and kind of goes into what we're saying about certain doors being open and not being open for others. And we're going to go into the culture right now. You know what The Apprentice is, right?
Mm-hmm.
My man's not a culture vulture. That's my man's. I would never call him that. So, he just got... Well, Lo just posted this saying that they're about to have a show at Lex, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to think about who the culprits were. The only reason they got that show is because of Richie. It's not because they're not talented. All the motherfuckers who are involved in the show are talented. Mm-hmm. But you take Richie out of it, the white boy, the clean-cut white boy, the ear doctor, that show don't happen.
Mm-hmm. Because
we don't get no local artists at Lex on stage. Nigga, that don't happen. You got to, like, really rent the venue and throw your own show. Lex ain't hitting you to do it. You know what I'm saying? So for that to even happen... Not saying that Lowe's not talented. Not saying Dash ain't talented. Dash and Lowe aren't getting that show without Richie.
It goes to it ain't what you know.
It's who you know.
It's who you know.
Who you're involved with.
It ain't.
It's like the weed game. We want to start a dispensary. We're going to have to go find us a white dude to be the face of this shit.
Yeah, because discrimination is
what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm trying to say, man. FBA culture is built in to be discriminated, right? Mm-hmm. It's like everyone joins in on it. Yeah. And now
that's fact.
And now you have this kid that they done spent millions of dollars and they done made everybody, all of our so-called legends and shit like that speak highly of him, right? When you know, like, y'all ain't fucking with this kid like that. I ain't saying he's not talented, but you're not going to act like you just run around listening to this nigga's music. Because I don't. And y'all older than me. You know what I'm saying?
We love Richie, but
so
I don't slap Richie's album. The one I did was because it was completely produced by my brother. So.
But.
And I love Richie.
No, I'm just saying. But, like, I wasn't even speaking to Richie. Shout out to Richie. I'm just saying, especially shout out to Dialects producing his album. I probably got to go listen to that.
They did a whole 80s theme album, so like weird science sample, like just all that crazy shit. It's dope. I'll let you hear that shit. I think I got a copy of it. But it just goes hand in hand what we talking about, bro. The privilege, the
now
opportunities.
I'm waiting for you to get over here because I don't think nobody can hear you. They got your boy. I seen a video. Now this is the dude they said shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus, but they also said that he went to jail, flipped on Baby and them, said it was them. Of course, Baby, fuck out of here. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Allegedly, he has something to do with this case, in this RICO case. And then, Thugger's done so much since then that I forgot that, like, damn, he was running around with Baby, all that stuff, like, doing all that. Yeah, this is getting, see, and that's the thing. Like, that's a perfect example. You said Rich Gang. There you go. Now, you can be a gang all you want if you don't look like us. You can do this.
Why do they never went after like Taylor Gang? Because they don't rap the shit.
No, because nigga Wiz Khalifa is a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, he don't.
That smokes a lot of weed. They might hate now if they can get.
They
fucked with him a lot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like shit that he could go to prison for. Like they had to bend the rules to put him in prison. Like this nigga was just doing shit that they didn't like. Like I hate your little skinny black ass making my kid think it's cool to smoke so much weed and. I just don't like you.
You drive the better car than me. You high all day.
You're getting rich like this. Look how you dress. Like you're just.
He's Look like at your hair.
He's that kid that like in high school that the teacher swore wasn't gonna be successful, and now he's balling out of control.
Everybody.
Like, and she's naturally, a little pissed about it. Like, that's who Wiz like represents to me in society.
Yeah,
do what the fuck he want, man. Live his own life. Leave him alone.
Because he does. You don't see him in the news. No scandals. No nothing. The biggest scandal was the Amber Rose thing.
There's more FBA kids like Wiz.
Yeah. Then they'll let you. They don't want you to see that because then that whole stereotype to the rest of the world don't make sense.
Then other than the image, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah, like you said. So, I mean, when you read these indictments, bro, even with the Casanova shit, a lot of people shitted on him. Oh, you stupid. He did this. You're really lumping him in. Because you know that he used to be a gang member.
And he says that ape shit all the time.
But that whole ape shit, but that's the government saying that anytime a black kid from this type of area say this word, it's gang related.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the First Amendment and all these so-called rioters for that, where's that? Where are those people that's upset that says, hey, you can't take slang language that black kids use. This is the problem I got with gang culture, and I've always spoke on this. They culture voters to black people. Nigga, nobody dresses like gang members, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a kid from the East Coast originally. Nobody. Every fucking kid I know that was from the West Coast, born and bred, that considered themselves low-key hip-hop, dressed like a kid. Like what?
Rappers, nigga. They don't dress like fucking.
Like, but I'm just saying.
We don't dress
now,
like
don't get it twisted.
Members,
in Los Angeles and surrounding areas and shit like that, yeah, maybe that was a big thing. But, dog, I'm telling you, nobody ever looked at. I don't want to say the gang name because I don't want to sound like I'm coming at these niggas. Yeah. But they'll probably even admit it. Like, nigga, the motherfuckers. I'll say this. Niggas wasn't trying to dress like Snoop.
Not at all.
Or Dr. Dre.
No. Like,
or Eazy-E.
We do not. I don't like flannels, nigga.
But hold on. But you know who they were dressing like?
The gang members.
You know whose style they stole?
The gang members.
Because who was popping in Los Angeles?
Gang members, too.
And you can't get popping in hip-hop, especially old school hip-hop, unless who is jacking you, nigga? Your city.
Yeah.
How you get the city to jack you?
Be part of the gang culture.
So, and there's probably also affiliations there, nigga. My cousin, my dad, my uncle, I'm from this
Cube
neighborhood.
was the only real Crip, right?
I won't. I'm not from L.A. I ain't a gang member. I don't discriminate who's a real Crip or nothing like that. I don't know that.
No, but I think I'm just saying as far as like who was actually gang banging.
I would have gave it to Easy way before I gave it to Q. You understand? Q was like 17, 16, like lived in a, Cube will tell you I came from Compton.
The nigga's name is O'Shea, so I can't imagine.
Compton changed. I don't know what that means. What you mean?
It's just not a name. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody.
I know a couple O'Sheas.
No, but I mean, it's not a name some hood niggas gonna give their kid. His family's probably more cultured and shit like that. They weren't. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
And I don't mean rich. I mean culture.
No, I know what you mean by culture. But I'm just saying, bro. Like, that just sound like a black name. I just know a lot of niggas. I mean,
O'Shea's a fucking.
A lot of.
They probably originated as a black name.
I'm just saying,
O'Shea's like a Irish name.
Yeah, black culture proceeds way longer. No shout out to all my Irish people.
Oh, you're right. Never drug dealer or gang member.
Yeah, bro. Like,
graduated high school.
Nigga, I've never heard Ice Cube ever do that. But what I did see is white America dub him as a gangster because he was in a group called Niggas with Attitude.
And he rapped about his surroundings.
And he rapped about the surrounding areas. That's why how Tupac, nigga, was thug life. He was the picture of thug life. It used to be young rappers jumping out the window in the late 90s, right after Pac died, trying to be extra gangster because they thought that that's what it meant to be like Tupac.
You're right. Easy and Ren, they're both.
Yeah, those are the niggas that.
Yeah, Kelly Park Crips.
Right, and Easy was the one that was funding shit because he was getting money. Like old school gangster shit. All gangsters back in the day wasn't killers and shoot boys, nigga, and stuff. Probably it's not probably like that now. Niggas was getting money. They flooded our neighborhood with $1 million opportunities. The downfall is that you could go to jail for it, which the sentences was nowhere near what they are today. So it might even still be a calculated risk. Like, I'm gonna do 5 years, and I done made 50 G's a month, nigga, for the last 8 years. Right. When minimum wage is $4.25, and they just closed down every factory job in every black city in America. But for some reason, niggas keep finding duffel bags full of bricks of coke, and ain't nobody got killed from this shit yet. Like, no cartel came looking for them. Right. The police ain't came. Hey, you seen a green bag? We ain't seen the shit on the news. What are you talking about?
So nobody looking for this.
Man, right here, I got an auntie that found a bag with stacks in it. Let me tell you about black America. You know what the fuck she did? She took that shit to the police. Like, oh my God, I just found this bag. It looks like a government official, and it has like just bricks of money in it. But we'll read about how devastating, how hood and ignorant and greedy our culture is.
They made us that way. They did everything.
I defy to even say that, bro. I'm just saying, I don't believe what white people write about black people. Because when I be in black neighborhoods in this country, I don't be seeing a lot of white people. And when I do see them, they be minding their fucking business, enjoying the festivities and shutting the fuck up. It don't be no notebook out like, what is these niggas doing?
Ain't no Karen.
So I know that shit comes from quid pro quo. That's the government talking, and they disseminate that shit down to their minions, which is the white media, the so-called liberal media, the conservative media, conglomeracy. All these motherfuckers are the same blueprint. Now, how do I trust the federal government that always has time to investigate 16 to 24-year-old rappers, that they ain't investigating them until they ass become rappers and get $1 million deals?
And we ain't even hearing nothing else about this Ghislaine Maxwell shit.
Don't know what the fuck going on with Ghislaine. But nigga, never don't know what the investigation, like, nigga, y'all got her. Yeah. You telling me that didn't yield not one name?
Nothing.
So you
not
got
one
her.
Other arrest.
So not one other person.
Right.
She ain't texting nobody.
She ain't tell on nobody.
Y'all got all her, nigga. First off, we know what type of people go in and sit down.
Yeah.
Ghislaine ain't built for that.
She's telling, nigga.
Ghislaine ain't built for that because she always has an out. Mm-hmm. If they try to kill her in there, we know, and her lawyers is able to get that out and she get out, she'll fuck around and get out of prison because they're like, oh, we can't keep her safe in there. Nope. There's no black person in America that has any information about a particular crime, case, or criminal
that gets that type of
to where they feel like, oh, well, shit, if he get killed in there,
it's unsafe. Like, let's get him out.
No,
nigga.
And if they do treat you like that, like this, it's an expiration date.
Yeah.
That's why black people believe in no snitch culture. Not because we want to help the criminals. It's because the cops. You know how many snitches get killed because of cops?
Yeah.
And district attorneys?
Nigga, look at Clockers.
Fuck a movie.
That nigga came up, shook his hand, and said, "Oh, thank you for helping me." That nigga did nothing. Didn't tell on nobody.
Look at the John Gotti and Sammy the Bull case.
Yeah, nigga.
How did John Gotti find out that Sammy the Bull was working with the government?
Right.
When John Gotti got a small win in court and it pissed the district attorney off, and Sammy the Bull was playing his part, he's shaking John's hand like, yeah, we got him, knowing that he's working with the government because he found out that John Gotti
was snitching.
No, that John Gotti inquired about a deal. And then John Gotti talked to Sammy the Bull like, you know, I'm the boss, Sammy.
Oh, you got to go down, yeah.
Like, the boss can't go to prison for life. And Sammy was like, nigga, why the fuck not? We got several examples of bosses in prison for life,
running
still
shit.
Being the boss, nigga, living fat, rich, nigga, doing everything. You just never gonna get no pussy and be around people
the
again.
Bitches and shit, yeah, you don't want that.
But they both young men, nigga, like that was doing a lot of those things, dating celebrities and all that. So that's when Sammy was like, yo, I done killed 50 people for you. We ain't been in jail 6 months, and you already inquiring about a deal?
Yeah.
Like, nah, hold on, fam. Like,
you ain't about to push give me all the nigga.
And this is the blueprint of gangsterism in the country. So that leads us to a grid program. That leads us to a person, you know, hey, now at first it was just a couple YouTubers. Mm-hmm. It was just what I said that I read. Now you got WAC 100 saying, yeah, man, this nigga Big U is part of the grid program. Well, I don't know if Big U has explained that or expressed any of that, but there seems to be some proof to that if you believe the paperwork and stuff like that you're seeing.
Right.
Always take shit with a grain of salt. Big U might be on some shit like, man, I don't got to express that. That's my old life. I don't do nothing like that. I ain't speaking on that. Yeah. He might be an old head that don't understand how powerful the internet is. Right. But I've always had a disdain for FBA culture when it comes to sucker butting around a bunch of so-called gang members that only kill black people. The fuck we protecting them for?
I ain't never. And that's the thing is like even not even looking at it that deep, I just never thought gang culture was cool.
Like what? No, but I was able to see like not one upping you. I'm just saying like I agree with you. What I'm saying is how we let y'all sneak into hip hop.
Yeah. And
how we let them turn them into the face of hip hop. Because that's what's happening. It's going to get to a point where all the non-black American rappers are going to be the ones that looked at as like intellectual MCs and creative and culturally sound, because all the black rappers that get deals are going to be
nigga,
only drill rappers, nigga, that talk about killing each other after they did.
Look at Logic, nigga. Logic is widely accepted.
But Logic,
and that's because nobody does their research to know Logic's dad's black, nigga. They wouldn't accept him that much, nigga. You would be another FBA motherfucker. Fuck your Hugh.
Logic, to me, you're right. There's some evidence there, because a lot of disdain in the culture for Eminem is that all the black rappers that rap like him are told that you rap too much and you don't know how to make a dope song.
Yep. And Logic gets to
so you got to be a backpack rapper and service a cult-like following that is never going to really properly yield you what, nigga, this other guy that we signed with that one hot song that was catchy and we made a ringtone in a commercial.
Hot nigga.
Like, we're going to make them that. You know what I'm saying? It's also like how do they do that? They got smart. They paid attention. Oh, the little smart kid that raps and makes the beat. Oh, that talented dude right there that's popular and all the kids like, and he's fresh and cool and all that shit that's on the rhymes. Stop paying them. Pay that nigga in the back that they all scared of because he the killer.
Who barely can rap.
And he keep them safe. Don't matter if he can rap. Right. None of these kids is haters. They just trying to get out the hell that we created for them. So the ones that can rap will write rhymes for them.
Yep.
Right now, I don't rap. I can write, but I don't rap at all. I've never recorded a rap song. I've never rapped 16 bars. If the deal came on my plate where it was like, yo, they want to do a one album deal with me and a label deal for $5 million. You and the Dowdy brothers will low key be silly to not slap 12 beats behind me real quick
And go straight for you.
Write me some shit. Make sure my shit tight. Get it out with the promise and the deal already in place.
Yeah, we be dumb as shit.
I just got $5 million for my deal. I'm gonna give y'all motherfuckers, here go 1.5 on the come on the front end, nigga, and sign y'all to a deal. And now y'all can go shop y'all shit to a major, you know what I'm saying, and get the real big bag. This is how the music industry works. There's a lot of dudes that we know and put on our top MCs list that we wouldn't know of if it wasn't for their friend that wasn't that dope, that then fucked around and got the deal first. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about that.
Well, that's like the Craig Mack thing, or Bad Boy. Bad Boy had Craig Mack, and then because Diddy had that little bit of buzz and had Biggie on the back burner, it's like, nigga, all right, now it's you. Yeah. Craig Mack was the first one out. Wasn't the dopest, but nigga, the dopest one came behind that.
But he wasn't not the dopest until after Big came.
Right, he was, yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, he was that nigga. And it wasn't to say that Craig Mack could rap his ass off. He just wasn't Biggie.
Nobody is, bro. Nobody is. That's all right. You know? Can't all be big, man. Think about it. A dark-skinned ass nigga with a lazy eye, about 300-something pounds, 6'4", big. And if he's on the football field, they call him a big ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And he had chicks.
All of them.
Before, like, they came way a lot more when he got famous. But if you listen to any story of Big, nigga, chicks been on him his whole life.
Because he had bread and the nigga knew how to get money. He rapped and he could dress, nigga.
Well, nigga, sometimes,
some bitches
bro,
like the swag and
you
the
just gotta have
personality
personality and conversation. Like,
nigga has swag.
If all these motherfuckers around here is ignorant and can't talk 3 minutes without cursing and speaking slang, and I'm over here having a conversation with you, I might make you laugh. We chilling. We could do what we do.
That's how he bagged Faith, was making the
they
laugh
get
all
the
time.
So now we're in a place where they studying our culture. But these young boys, man, they don't want to study the culture that's studying them. And that's how we get into all these fucking RICOs. You said it. The Atlanta judge said what? Nigga, district attorney. She said, if you come to this county, speaking of Atlanta, she's like, if you come to this county
and do bad things, no matter what
do anything illegal,
how famous you are, how much
join yourself up with a gang, hang out with them, do anything with them, like, you're going to be a target for us. We're targeting you. That's a fact. To me, let's talk about that. See, and this the problem I got. Because you saying F her, right? And I get it because it's F12. I get all that.
The reason I say that is fuck her for the shucking and jiving she's doing for the higher-ups, nigga.
So now let's talk about that.
It ain't even all the way her, nigga, but you're selling your people out, nigga, regardless if you're, like...
They can't hear you when you're over there, so I'm going to wait for you to get over here. So you'll take it that she on some sellout shit.
Before you say anything else, let me hit this and come back over there, because I'm going to frame it real quick.
Because my take is, if I'm a cop from the hood in Georgia, and I'm serving my community, right? Now, I've been said ever since my boy Tito got killed, rest in peace. If black gangs, if 10% of their violent crimes that lead bodies in the morgue, if 10% of those victims were white,
it'd be way different.
We wouldn't have no black gangs. So how do we get there? Because white cops don't give a fuck to really stop and prosecute gangs. White district attorneys have not really prioritized getting gangs out of the city. They use them as fodder to make more money from the federal government and to use them to now run from, how many white police chiefs go from being a police chief to the fucking mayor and now the senator? That's their playbook. So when you get a black woman like her that probably lost, she got black kids probably. Well, I mean, she has kids, they're going to be black. She has brothers and sisters and shit like that. She has seen young black boys get caught up in gang violence because they stood on their 10, was like, I ain't no blood, I ain't no Crip. I'm just doing me. But I happen to knock down this girl that you like, and you in a gang, niggas, or you and your gang partners came and swerved on me. I got a jacket that you niggas like because my family keep me fresh to death, even though we poor, nigga. Because if you look good, you feel good, you play good, and it's in our fucking soul to rock that goal, right? But now, nigga, you gonna come and snuff my little brother because I got him a gold bracelet because he's staying out of trouble and deserves something fucking nice. See, this shit all happens to us in our communities if you from those type of communities, and nobody gonna protect you. So when you see the black girl that probably done lost a boyfriend, had a brother thrown in jail, had a cousin killed, I'm at my age now, bro. I ain't calling her to sell out. Nigga, the sellout is the motherfucking Bloods and Crips that only kill black people, nigga, in black neighborhoods.
Do you know why I call her the sellout? I get the person that you're defining. She ain't that.
What do you mean?
Because how giddy she was about talking about what was finna happen and shit.
Yeah, nigga.
Them motherfuckers who are really about that job and justice and shit are way more stern-faced. And if they're coming from a place of, nigga, I've lost a son or I've lost a friend, I've lost a cousin, you're not going to have that giddiness, nigga. It's going to be business, nigga.
Fam, maybe you didn't hear it. The giddiness comes from, nigga, since...
When she said that sexy thing, she got giddy and laughed. When we don't want to get too sexy with it, you know.
No, right, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's delivery. To me, that has nothing to do with the larger issue. You can be disdained off by that.
Well, I'm just saying we disagree on where I feel like she's coming from.
What I'm saying is,
it's
nigga,
not genuine.
I don't know if you've seen the entire press conference, but I can't ignore her talking about how she made a fucking promise to that black mother that ain't did shit wrong. Her kid didn't do nothing wrong. Got his noodles sprayed out. And because he's from a certain neighborhood, the last district attorney wasn't on that. And these niggas is rich and got money and got $1 million lawyer that I'm friendly with. Like, no, we not charging that. We ain't on that.
At the same time, though, have we not seen political motherfuckers put a black person in front of us to tell people that type of shit to make them feel better, though? But I feel where you're coming from.
But you can't, I'm not going to confuse that with an active district attorney that is now on RICO case number 3 since she got the job. She ran in her community saying, yo, I'm about to get these gangs to fuck up out Atlanta because they not going to do to black Atlanta what they did to black Los Angeles. Nigga, Los Angeles used to be a city that was damn near almost majority black. California is named after a black American woman.
I get that, but how do we keep...
And now it's one of the smallest percentage groups
But
there.
How do we keep talking about prison reform and all this shit, but we're okay with what's going on, nigga?
Prison reform isn't giving gang members, nigga, the okay to nigga run RICO acts, nigga.
But here's the thing I'm talking about. You're talking about imprisoning mainly black people, my nigga.
So stop. That's true, but nigga,
that's what I'm saying.
No, but no, it can't be that because now you got to tell all the mothers and all the other kids that get sprayed up by bullets because these niggas won't even take target practice. You got, see now, but now you don't care about those kids. Now you don't care about those kids. See how you just did that? You're on camera and you just laughed at something that ain't got nothing to do with what we're really talking about. It don't mean that you don't give a fuck about the black people, the FBA people that can't get a business loan in their community because, nigga, the high vibe, high crime. Nigga, the buses right here in North Las Vegas don't run 24 hours because they tell you that it's high crime here.
But I'm just saying,
who does that affect?
Side of everything
who does
else,
that affect, though?
But all this affects us, nigga.
So you got to put the bad in jail, nigga.
A bunch of these niggas to jail. You're then furthering the narrative of what people see us as.
Fuck that.
You
got to put the right ones in jail.
Bullshit sword.
You got to put the right ones in jail. We're not talking about community activists,
is Young
nigga.
Thug and Gunna the right people to put in jail?
They have a chance in court to prove that they're not. Based on the federal government and what they say they got, I don't just ride with what the federal government say. Fuck them. But what I'm saying, based on what they saying, yeah, nigga, y'all supposed to be here.
Okay, but say it comes out that they're just in phone calls or they're just, like you said, just around or they bought a car from somebody or did this for somebody, a Casanova situation. If these niggas get fucking convicted.
There's bodies involved in that.
But that's not on him.
Wait. So if I'm...
That's the bullshit thing about a RICO case.
But you're saying that's the bullshit, but you can't say that and then say you understand street culture. Nigga, RICO cases are made because they understood. The top dog What do we all know? What the first thing a nigga say when a nigga with some money pop somebody's shit, they be like, nigga, you got bread. You supposed to have like one of your dudes do that. A nigga with some money or fame get caught for anything illegal. The first thing sensible people from this culture say is, damn, bro, you don't got no homie that's gonna take the case. That's what the RICO shit is built on. It's built on that ideologic thought. Like, hey, I got more money than you coming from this shithole that we call a community. That they helped turn into a shithole. So now, because I'm the one that got the money, I don't like Dre. Or Dre has touched my ego in some kind of way. So now I send a nigga that's holding me down. A young boy, mind gone, he just trying to make it. I'm seducing him with trinkets and shit. I put a chain on his neck, let him be in my fucking video and have sex with a groupie. He don't ever gotta ask for weed. Hey, check this out though. I need a fuck nigga that'll participate in that against his own people to fuck away from around us. Because if you really a gang that's hard, that stand on what you stand on, you can do that shit away from Black America. I don't like culture vultures, whether they're white and they're pillaging our culture, whether they're Asian and they're pillaging our culture disrespectfully, or they're black, and because they black, they using them to exterminate us. You know what I mean? How the fuck does a young rapper...
It's the same way they use black political people sometimes to destroy us.
So you see how you said sometimes? Unfortunately, nigga, in a war of political fodder, you're going to always have to be astute, nigga, and make your decision on which one's which.
And we
we
disagree that I don't
because
feel
a lot of black
I don't
people
feel
are in
she's
jail.
genuine,
Just because
nigga.
a lot of black... I'm just going off her past record, nigga, and her history. Just because a lot of black people are in jail for fucked up reasons. See, when you start talking about the 60s and further back and shit like that, and all the way to this day, yeah, we have that. But, nigga, I'm never going to be ignorant and sit here and say on our platform that, nigga, all black people that are in jail should be let out because they're black and America's fucked up to black people. If your ass commit a crime, don't do that shit if you can't do your time, bro.
Okay,
like,
so I got
it's
a
too many
question.
punk ass thugs out here, nigga, that they can shoot up the block, they can blow your fucking son's brains out and rap about it. But now these niggas crying. I gotta hear niggas in the court. They ain't been in court 2 days yet. They ain't been in jail 2 days. I gotta hear niggas to the judge like, oh, I just want to get home to my family. You don't think that little boy? Nah, fuck that. See, now you laughing again.
We've heard that shit so many
And if we
times.
treat
Good
you
Lord.
like you trying to treat that DA
I say
for the
this-
way she said it, that's the same thing. I'll just point that out.
It's not the same thing, nigga, because it's bullshit, nigga.
It is.
She's not genuine to me, nigga. She's genuine to
I'm not
you.
arguing that.
That's your opinion,
No, that's not.
nigga.
You're going about her. See, dog, I don't give a fuck if she's genuine.
I don't feel like, nigga,
I don't give a fuck if she's genuine,
shucking
fam.
and jiving, my nigga.
Okay, that's fine. There's some people that feel like if you're a black person and you work for law enforcement, you're shucking and jiving.
I kind of feel the same way.
So then, nigga, you rest your case, nigga. Like, you don't want no black people in law enforcement. You want all. You see what?
No,
ask Ahmaud Arbery's motherfucking mom,
I
nigga,
know,
if she'd
nigga,
like to have
I
a
don't
black
want-
district attorney.
A district attorney is different. You asked me about a cop.
No. We're talking about the district attorney, bro.
Yeah, but you were asking me about black people becoming police.
What do they call the district? What do they call the district attorney? What do they attack our vice president for? They call her top cop. Why do they call her top cop?
District attorney's more of a lawyer than a fucking.
But you're the head of fucking all the police forces, bro. You're the top cop.
That's fine, nigga. I'm giving you my opinion, nigga. So whatever it is, nigga, that's my motherfucking opinion. I'ma stand on it. You're not gonna change it. I feel like
I'm not
she's
arguing to
Tommen
change
right
your
now.
opinion. You can feel like she's Tommen, Karen, doing whatever you want. But all I was saying is that, nigga, while we going back and forth, we would be remiss to ignore, because if you're Tommen for putting some millionaires in jail because these niggas either one didn't have the nuts, nigga, to tell a gang niggas around them to fuck off, or two, nigga was on some shit like, you know what, bro? This shit sells, so I'm about to come out here and play gangster.
Oh, nigga, it's your birthday?
Yeah.
Nigga, what the fuck? Happy birthday, nigga. Like,
I don't be making a big deal on my birthday, man. Just
it's
you know
still,
what I'm
I
saying?
want to acknowledge the shit, my nigga. Like,
Yeah, bro, like, we're gonna trip. We're gonna acknowledge it right now, fam.
yeah, I'm trying. I want to acknowledge you, my boy, nigga.
but
like, you
no,
gave me, we don't, but nigga, you gave me a gift and a card last year, nigga. We
You know,
boys,
man, you know how
nigga.
men is,
right,
though.
nigga.
I ain't even gonna lie. I
I'm
ain't
still
try to be
gonna
like that.
acknowledge it, nigga.
It was
like,
gonna come
you
up,
my
I'm sure.
You my nigga, bro. You
I know,
a brother
I
to
love
me,
you,
nigga.
bro.
It's
I
like
swear I
me not
appreciate it.
saying
My bad. I
happy
didn't-
birthday to my brother or Sam
I know,
Jones,
bro.
my
My
nigga.
bad.
You
I
my
ain't mean-
folks.
My bad.
Like, nigga, I felt bad I didn't remember it was today, nigga. It don't
No,
matter
it's
that.
good.
You
It's
know what I'm
good.
saying? You my nigga. Like, it's different than.
I don't want to lose where we at right
But,
now,
bruh,
because
like-
I don't think we're arguing. I just think that, like, when you were making your point, I just wanted to point out to you, bro, like, yo, Remember what she said before that, and I don't know if you heard it. She went into a whole soliloquy about how this black woman told her when she was running for office.
We've heard that story so many times.
But
and
nigga,
if she's genuine, I apologize.
I'm not talking about the story.
I will come back and apologize. But I feel like we've heard this story from
boy's
different
mom,
leaders all the time.
So I'm just saying, if you are a cop,
right,
and you are a district attorney,
right,
and nigga, the last district attorney that you ran against because of the same reason,
didn't do shit.
He wasn't doing shit. Right. He was basically like, oh, hey, they rich, they good. Oh, that lawyer, I know them.
Was he a black dude or white dude?
I don't even know.
Because if he's a black dude, that
means
he was a horrible black dude. If he was a black dude, that means because it makes it worse if you were a black dude. That means you got your position. Some probably white dude you fucking lobby for put you there. So on top of you spewing bullshit, I'm just saying that if this was the case. Right. You're spewing bullshit telling this community just like motherfucking Biden and them did. All this shit you gonna do, I talked to that. I'm not talking about her. He did the same shit. Oh, I talked to that mother in my community. I looked her in her eye and like,
according to the lawyer, allegedly he was one of them that like had relationship with lawyers. So if you a big time law firm,
exactly what I'm talking about. So if he's a black dude, it makes it worse. Like,
so now,
if he wasn't,
okay, right. I feel you. So we there. We agree there, right? But what she said after that, fam, was like, when I was running for office, this woman got at me and was like, yo, you see how, she said the violence after this boy got killed tripled.
Yeah, because of all the retaliation for
right?
the gang member. And okay,
but
like
hold on.
I said, if it comes back and I'm completely wrong and she really does all the things that she ran on, she's better than the fucking president, the vice president that I voted for. So goddamn it, I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? Please prove me wrong, because I don't want you to be another one of them fucking people. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is until we know that, what I'm doing is just going up, because if we take that stance first, you basically going to deter all black people in law enforcement. A lot of motherfuckers are in law enforcement. You know why Emmett Till's fucking cousin became the district attorney? Because he seen them snatch Emmett Till out of his bed.
I get it. It's just, I don't feel like we're going to be making the change in the police force, bro. Even if we all get it. They're not going to let us get high enough.
Let me give you this example.
To make the
I don't think like that, but I respect that.
Because
you have history.
I look at the Detroit chief of police. That nigga was crooked as fuck, my nigga.
You can't do Detroit. Because nigga, they took Detroit a long time ago.
Yeah.
And white politicians have ran and corporations have ran Detroit a long time.
That's why they put Kilpatrick in fucking prison.
Hold on. But this is why they're going after Atlanta, fam. And this is what the district attorney ran on. Like all them black business owners and black people that are educated, that have families and got good neighborhoods.
And suburban
neighborhoods with black people in it that got good home. They like, man, fuck that. You're not going to Compton us,
last good black thing.
You're not going to Brooklyn us.
Yeah,
you're not going to Harlem us. You're not going to turn us in. Take us,
Miami,
Detroit us. You're not going to make us go from
Fifth
a black
Ward, Houston us.
safe haven where we're producing some affluent, young, good black people.
Where we just bought a whole thing of land to build our whole
to where motherfuckers
city.
Are scared to do development and business because it's known to be a murder zone.
Yeah, I see. Okay, now if she's really about, like I said, she's really about it. I
can't say that she's not. Nigga, do you know?
I just didn't like her presentation.
Go look up the last time you seen a RICO case in Atlanta. This ain't no Atlanta shit. The reason why niggas was thinking New York was soft is like, nigga, because on the West Coast and in the South, you can walk around with your guns, nigga, and show off, nigga, we got big guns.
Open carry.
You can't do that shit in New York. You going to prison for 5 years.
Fuck yeah.
They can't have New York like that no more. You can have shootouts in New York where you don't even see the fucking people shooting. It's not California or Las Vegas.
Right, no, that's real. Because you can't be out shooting.
How does cops come
to
like Marcy Projects to like do some cop shit if some gang members on the top of the roof was like, nah, nigga, any cop come over here and nigga fire at him? You won't be able to get into fucking like 5 mile radius of a project building. You can't let the fucking inmates run the asylum. The best thing black people could do is never become an inmate. Learn about the 13th Amendment. This shit is new slavery. You a new slave when you go to jail. Thank you, Moms. I appreciate that.
That's how I knew it was your mama.
Happy birthday. I just seen that. But think about what I'm saying. Like, that's all I'm saying. I agree with you. You know I do. But I'm just going strictly, and maybe I should have said that first. I'm only talking about this press conference in this case. But I've seen how they connecting the dots. And, dog, she said something that was slick. Look, I ain't going to throw nobody's names out there. Like, I am. Hold on.
Oh, for sure.
Because she was alluding to like, yo, we not doing that where we just going after the shooters and these young boys. We going after the motherfucking old heads too. What good? You can't go after a gang and not go after the OGs.
Right.
The shot callers. That's how you know they in cahoots with the boys when you do that. And all I'm saying is, if you're a real revolutionary working on behalf of the people, there's really no reason for you to have any contractual agreements with the police. Shit, nobody else that did far more work for our people than you ever will, they never had to.
Right.
And racism was at an all-time high then. There's white cops that don't hate black people.
Oh, I've met white cops that don't hate
Well,
black people.
I mean, obviously. What I'm saying is, nigga, in the 60s, you wouldn't find too many white cops that would openly tell you that they don't hate black people.
Right.
They would go along with it. They were that much of a minority. That's all I'm saying.
God, I gotta be so careful on how many people I add on Facebook now, bro.
So, I don't know. We can get off this. I guess the 5 main things is murder, drugs, theft and robbery.
They say
there's
50 murders since like
2015. And so all I'm saying is this, bro. How do I raise my kid with black skin and tell him that everything is good and put life into him and send him to in the same community, right? Because my neighbor might not be putting that life into his kid. He might be putting other life into his kid.
He might be a whole 4th-generation gang member.
Now they at school, they get into a small beef. My son got to be a fucking victim when he comes from kings, when he comes from warriors. Fuck out of here, nigga. I ain't never need a gang or be in a gang to be tough or to stand up for my people. But at the end of the day, I don't shit on gangs, nigga. Do your thing. But when it becomes a problem for all of us, nigga, and this is a warning call, and I've been on this. I've been saying, hey, yo, bro, they changed them RICO laws.
Like I said,
they're coming
they didn't change them. They just know how to use it now.
No, that's just it, though. They did change them.
Oh.
With the Patriot Act, they were able to, dog, yeah. They modified the Patriot Act, bro. Like, I'm telling, it's legal for them to record all of our conversations.
They do, yeah. Every conversation is recorded, nigga. NSA is a fool.
Since 2002, it's legal. I'm
not
not saying it wasn't happening before.
I think the reason, but the other thing I think is so successful is not even just because of the change in what they doing. Like I said, I think they just know how to use it better. Because you remember, RICO was, even before it was mob, it was stock market.
But no, they had to change. They changed it. They modified it to where it encompasses street gangs. Oh. Okay. Where you can now look at street gangs, and what it does is it allows you to take it allows you to take a crime that's a felony that, shit had happened in 2012. So if this was a regular case without the special rules of the RICO,
they can't bring
it up. Nigga, I'm
and
rich
they
now.
And they can't gather 40 defendants in one case.
Can I be honest? And I know I go here a lot. It's my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Kings County. I think this is like, and I'm not saying just him. You might as well call the new RICO Act the Jay-Z Act. You think America
they hate it.
Wants to see another black kid escape the crack epidemic
and be a fucking multi-billionaire?
And become culturally influenced like that, because America love gangsters. If Al Capone could rap, nigga, or sing, they love Frank Sinatra. The main part of Frank Sinatra's whole appeal was that he had a little gangster to him. Yep. He was kind of mob tied.
Yep. Same thing with Sammy.
So, hear me out. I'm just saying, fam. The blueprint is why you don't see a lot of black CEOs. They'll give me $1 million for an act before they give me $1 million to break them. They just give me the $1 million. Hey, give me $1 million for Dre. You got a contract with him? Give me $1 million. We'll take him to bigger and better place. Now, if I'm your man's, a lot of times I'm going to be like, nigga, yeah, for sure. Because I'm going to take the $1 million. We going to bust that shit down because you ain't no slave.
You put me in a fucked up deal.
No, you ain't no slave. But no, I'll put you in a deal. Because, nigga, me and you just grinding together. We ain't got no deal. But we betting on our talent, nigga. We got some heat in the motherfucking Serato. Like, yo, this is what we gonna do. Like, you gonna sign with this? You gonna sign with them?
Did you know in the fucking EDM world they sign singles? They don't until you catch your major deal. You'll sign a single here. You'll have another single over at another label. You have another single at this label. It's crazy.
But you know why, right? That's favorable to the artist and it's fair to the business partner. But you know why it's not? Whenever there's black people making music, right? Because, dog, it's hard to see niggas that used to be your fucking slave make millions of dollars off things that you used to make them do for free.
Yeah, singing shit, entertain you.
Now I got to pay to watch you niggas play? You better not dress like that, then. Don't talk like that. Oh, they curse too much. Oh, why they just shut up and dribble?
But yeah, the EDM world, I'm going through the whole, like, I've been doing my research on every goddamn thing. And they're like, yeah, artists will just shop a single. And then niggas sign it to one label. They might sign the next one to another.
They're never letting a 16-year-old black kid with a popping single sign a one-off. Because EDM
they will.
No, I'm saying, well, yeah. Well, because that's already laid out that way. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Black kids don't dominate in the EDM space. And we probably won't. Yet. Shit, when that bass, nah, bro, we come from the 808s. Bro, when them EDM drums and niggas like.
Oh, no, do you know why I think niggas don't get into EDM? It's
because the Dowdy brothers ain't broke yet.
It's not even that.
No, that's what it is.
I'm talking about like dubstep, not EDM as the whole. Dubstep is too simple for us.
Oh, listen. No, you can't say that, bro. Because you saying that with your producer ass ear and the type of music you like.
No, I'm talking about like other black producers getting into it. I'm not talking about us coming. Man,
dubstep ain't too simple for none of them niggas in the Bay. There's certain regions of our country, of our society, that like simple ass beats. Certain parts of Texas and shit.
No, it's not. I'm not talking about it being simple as like technical. Technically, it's hard. It's just simple sound wise.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking strictly sonically.
Niggas can't do.
Stop talking to me like a producer. I ain't talking like production. I'm talking sonically.
I'm just talking about niggas sonically don't like that shit.
You tripping, dog? You can't. Chopped and Screwed is legendary.
Chopped and Screwed is taking something that was very great technical sound and slowing it down.
Again, I'm strictly
starting it that way.
I'm strictly talking sonically, and what I'm saying is that because of that's there, that birth. Man, what Kanye was doing, nigga, like that, some of that birth is the ear is there, dog. You can't. There's no sound that we ain't gonna fuck with if it's organized right. So what I'm saying is, you get about 8 Dowdy Brothers type motherfuckers out there that come from the culture, that understand drum patterns and drum loops, and when and they start infusing that, it'll become something different. Probably.
And it's a certain level of like, and the other thing I think it is a certain level of like nerd. It's a lot more. It's not as swaggy and as cool to be EDM festival. Because look, you know what I'm saying?
But you see, the thing is hip hop heads don't ever look at anything as inclusive. Like we know we're not included, motherfucker.
Nah, EDM's very inclusive.
But we gonna take that sound and be over here.
The shit that you sound.
And if it pops in the culture, that should be at every strip club. It'll pop. Nigga.
The shit you hear about EDM artists, you never hear them being racist and shit. They get caught for like sexual shit. Like the dude that sick, he was at FK and shit, nigga. They were booing him and all types of shit because he got caught fucking with an underage girl a few years ago.
Yeah, well, he deserves to get booed.
And they mad that he didn't get no time, no nothing. His label and everybody dropped him, but he's still eating.
What's the circumstances?
It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool, bro.
Well, I mean,
like he knew better. Like he knew everything about this person and pretty much preyed on her, getting her to shows and shit, giving her drugs, nigga, taking her to the festivals. Canada.
How old was she? Like, was she
14, 15?
What's the age of consent there?
16, 17.
There's places in America that is 14 is the legal age of consent to sex.
She wasn't legal though. This is why it made it so bad. It wasn't. There was no.
Well, because you said underage and he didn't go to jail. That's why I was saying.
No, there was no technicality to make nobody not look at him crazy.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get looked at crazy. Period.
But niggas is like,
you show up as a club with a 14-year-old.
But that's what you hear in EDM world. Niggas they're hella inclusive in that. And if you make good music, they want you there. That's it. I don't give a fuck, hue of your skin tone. A lot of niggas wear masks and shit. They don't know what these niggas look like.
Went to a couple of EDCs, bro. I know. I'm just saying, if certain elements of the culture pick that sound up, it's out of here. And then we'll see how inclusive it is. Right now, you don't got to share with niggas.
I just don't think they ever will.
Mm-hmm.
Our people in it will be fucking mega stars, but there won't be hell of them. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, I don't know. I'm not jumping off on that limb and saying that they can't compete.
I've seen EDM music just over the years, bro. It's all the talented black artists there are out there. They're not. It's been around enough that somebody would have caught on by now. Because
we're having two different conversations.
Hip hop's been at EDC, so they've all heard the music. It's niggas know what dubstep is, because niggas is remixing rap songs. So the rappers have heard their dubstep remixes to their songs.
Right.
So this shit's been around long enough for niggas to peek into it and to do something with it. The only nigga I've ever heard do it was Ice Cube, nigga, which it wasn't a remix, nigga. Him and Troy Boy.
Rick Ross just did some shit recently.
With I'm talking about with who though? Like, is he doing it with?
Now you keep moving the goalposts.
I'm not moving the goalposts.
I'm only talking sonically again. I don't care with who. I don't care how big they are or influence. I'm strictly talking sonically. Like, if the sound catches.
But I'm talking about, was it a black producer? I'm talking about if it was a famous producer, but we're talking about black people, producers jumping in this culture.
It don't necessarily, look, black producers from the culture ain't gonna jump in the culture if rap niggas don't fuck with the culture. So what I'm saying is,
or we know we gotta regionalize it.
No, wait, let me finish. Let me land. Or they might dwell over there and be playing with it in the tux like producers do, because they like it. It's fun. It's something new, and they playing with it. It's still free. They playing with it. A lot of hip hop, especially today, we grew up in the era of instrumental still, nigga. Where niggas would nigga, you heard that piece instrumentals, nigga? Jay Dilla can drop a tape with no fucking words on it. Niggas like me and you would sit there, roll a L, nigga, and have an experience off of it.
No, yeah, we created that for sure. That's fucked up. So you're right about that, because we created the lane.
19. That's all I'm saying. Nigga. 19, because this dog. When I heard dubstep for the first time, I was like, oh, this shit came from hip hop. Fuck you, nigga. We'll fight over it. Dubstep, come see me.
Dubstep came from electronic music.
Man, fuck out of here. Those ain't electronic breakdowns, bro. That ain't electronic bass or none of that shit.
You know, electronic is an umbrella term for like 150 subgenres.
So I was just about to say that there's an infusion. There's an infusion of electro. You gonna tell me that dubstep don't have no hip hop influences, nigga, in its origin? I would say you bugging if you say that.
It has it just because of where.
Then
nigga,
I land my plane.
Because of lo-fi, nigga. Lo-fi is very hip hop centric, and lo-fi helped birth dubstep.
So I land my plane. So what I'm saying, so when the origins of the culture.
Let me say this. I got to regionalize it. It's not going to blow up that big in America. There is super huge in the UK and in Canada and shit.
That's the flow of music. You know that, right?
We do somewhat run EDM music in the other countries. We just don't run it here yet. I should have regionalized it.
So what I'm saying is this, like, okay,
because nigga in UK,
I was already pretty much talking about here.
Goddamn black
I was talking about here because I was talking about about hip hop. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that what's the number one genre of music in the world? Based on all the publications, hip hop is the number one genre of music in the world. Nigga, there's country artists, nigga, that are definitely putting out hip hop country. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. All pop sounds hip hop-ish. Pop used to sound R&B-ish. Follow the trend. It's the popular version. You can put whatever that means to you. Some people will say the white version, but it's the popular version of what we're doing already. So Silk ain't gonna be popular to 13-year-old white girls, but NSYNC will. Take some of Silk, commercialize it with NSYNC, right? Or Boys to Men, whatever group you want to compare them to. I mean, I shouldn't have said Silk, but I'm just saying. I'm just giving examples of like soulful R&B and pop music. But nowadays, there's soulful pop artists. Ed Sheeran. Who put him on? Jamie Foxx. Nigga slept on Jamie Foxx's couch for months. Nigga and got his sound right. Said he was out there playing with a ukulele and shit, nigga, and he got him right. He helped him get his shit right. Shopped him around, helped him shop around. Now Ed Sheeran's one of the biggest stars.
You know what's crazy is I don't think pop. I'm looking at the top music genres. I don't think pop should be classified as its own music genre.
Dog, this is a long debate in music. Pop is racist.
Encapsulates way too
the whole
much,
shit came from them like fucking with the It's when they were separating music, trying to control who listens to what.
And the thing about it, anything could be pop. You can make a fucking Nicki Minaj song pop, and at the same time, it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
If you're in a country,
it shouldn't be a fucking genre.
But if you're in a country that's trying to persuade to the rest of the world that you're this new thing, this democracy, and everyone's treated fair, because you need people to come and invest and spend money in your nation.
Because pop music was popular culture music. Nigga,
so what they did,
everything.
So
nigga,
what they
music
did was,
culture.
you can't say the white charts. People said that in layman's terms, but in print, it was Elvis's top of the pop charts.
Pop charts gotta go.
Black people were on the chitlin circuit, right?
Pop just doesn't it's a popular music, nigga. Anything played on the radio is considered popular music. So why is there a fucking genre that pretty much encapsulate all music on the radio or all
because
music
that's
in
how
movies,
you separate,
all music in
Because what we talking about, dog? We talking about built-in discrimination. How do you separate from these little black kids from NWA, from Compton? How do you separate?
But they can't even do that anymore because Nicki's on the charts. Cardi's on. That's what I'm saying. They got to get rid of it now. Like I know why it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
you got to why the fuck is it still a genre?
But it's still like that though,
music?
to an extent. You said Nicki. You said Cardi. There's a lot of black girls that sell a lot of records that rap and sing that don't get the billing, that don't get none of that, and they're not gonna be a pop star. So what they did was they put pop now over our shit to the point where it's not good enough to be successful as an R&B singer.
Star, yeah.
It's not good enough to just be a hip hop star.
You gotta be a hip hop.
You gotta
star.
do one of these songs on this album that make white people like this shit, or don't mind listening to it when it comes on the radio. And to me, some people will argue that ain't racist because they've been, in my opinion, miseducated about racism and systemic racism. But that's what systemic racism is the fact that anything that comes from this sector of the culture is dubbed inferior first. Oh, everybody fucking likes it and we can't escape it. Now we'll play it on the radio stations that's more conducive to them getting streams, likeness, and monetary gain. Because at the end of the day, I don't think America is just gung-ho on making its poor black citizens millionaires based off their talent. Again, the same talents that we used to make you motherfuckers perform for us for free. And now I got to pay to hear you sing it. So it sounds harsh when you say it, but that's the real, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think we more like on the same side than we're not on the same side of it. But, and to me, this should go right back into all these hip-hop ricos. I mean, they got damn near more hip-hop ricos than they ever had on any drug cartels, nigga, in this country.
It's because, nigga, it goes with, like, social media now, nigga. People are just broadcasting.
Oh, you hear what she said about that? They asked her about social media. She said, let me tell you.
It's a great tool.
Social media, it is what it is. Like, it's a great tool nowadays for what we do. Mm-hmm. Oh, you hear some of the shit they got this nigga?
But that's why.
You hear what they got Thug quoted as saying on social media? Mm-mm. Oh, bro, this nigga talking about, nigga, in the studio feeling himself, I guess. Niggas want to be a movie character. Look right at the camera like, yeah, I don't kill nobody, nigga, but I got something to do with the body.
Jesus Christ.
We don't want her to take them niggas out. See, that's the thing. I just don't want the crash dummies around me. I can hang out with killers, and I've grown up around killers. They don't just be killing people. They actually got personalities and are nice guys. They call them sociopaths because they can sit their ass down in class and graduate from high school, and because of their environment, if they need to, nigga, to survive, they'll blow your noodles out.
I'm definitely a sociopath. Then.
So what I'm saying is this. The crash dummies, the kids that want the girl to see that he got a gun, so nigga, oh, you like Dre? Now he got a problem with Dre? Now he turned it into some gang shit and Dre ain't no gangster. Now Drake chilling because Dre ain't no punk either. We all from the same mud. So, nigga, they get into a fight and maybe Dre wins. Or maybe Dre don't lose enough. And some of his gang partners be like, oh, gang member, insert whatever they said. That whoop. Now, right, this shit fickle when you give people the license to hurt around, nigga, and just we gonna be anti-society. Now, we respect the shit if it's revolutionary, and the thing is, the shit used to come from a revolutionary place.
Yeah, it's just put together for a
now,
righteous reason.
This shit ain't necessarily revolutionary. This gang shit is what got Nip killed. Who gangs more from Nip dying? FBA people, Black America, young kids in Compton, in California, or whom?
The government and the police, nigga.
I mean, we don't have to make this conspiracy out. We know about the railroad that they're trying to build for the Los Angeles Rams that was going through Nipsey's property, and he refused to sell. In fact, he broke ground on development housing for his people. When they like, no, we want to tear that up and put this railway system there so these rich white people don't got to stop by and potentially get robbed by you niggas in Compton or in Crenshaw, where the fuck the neighborhood is.
Then don't go to the game.
Or, nigga, roll your windows up, nigga, and
Lock the door.
good luck. Yeah,
right.
Like,
Don't stop at no stop signs.
And why are they able to get this off? Because they done sold to people that don't live in this area through movies and music for 20 years that if you go to that part of California, they'll kill you if you got the wrong color on. Meanwhile, I know tens of motherfuckers from right there that ain't a gang member, highly intelligent, beautiful people. What's wrong with them? There's too many beautiful people coming out of Detroit for it to be Detroit's fault. There's too many beautiful people, educated people coming out of Oakland and all parts of the Bay for it to be the Bay. Like, and if that's the case, why is Silicon Valley there? Why are all these white suburban people from all around the world moving to Oakland? Gentrification is why. I mean, that shit is pretty much about to happen right here in Las Vegas. It's happening in Reno. And I think what where we're at in this country now is that it's not only happening in black communities.
It's happening.
Our indigenous communities.
The hedge fund people are buying the houses everywhere.
And they pricing you out.
Yep.
Because now America's a shopping center. They can refill this shit up with a bunch of rich people from all around the world.
And have us living in squalor.
And y'all just going to be the working class because y'all ain't got it. Unless you prove yourself of a talent to where we can we can exploit it. We'll give you a little piece of the pie. But we're going to exploit the shit out of you first.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, me and you are at a position in our life where, nigga, we got to hit because just how expensive it's going to be for our families to even survive in this shit eventually, nigga.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, you know what, though? Before we wrap this up, man, because I got to run, I'm going to tell you something. My guy is standing 10 toes down. This is just Akeem speaking. It's just, I'm speaking for myself. Came on this pod Monday. I was moving and grooving. I was in a little hurry. And I fucked around and gave a lazy take on the Kendrick single. Now, I stand by the shit that I was saying about his discography and the comparisons in terms of the hype and all that stuff, right? Shout out to Kendrick. It's not a diss. Not that he cares anyways. But I'm just saying. But
I get an email.
Right, doubt all that, right?
That should be hilarious.
Doubt all that. But I do want to put this back in the universe because I wasn't fair, man. I did give myself a nugget. I said, man, that new single, I don't know what all the wait was for. I lazily listened to it. My man vouched for me. I didn't even finish the whole song because I hated the intro. In terms, like sonically, I didn't like the intro. And then the beat was kind of, you know what the song is about. We're rushing, about to hurry up, and we're doing pre-production, about to get on. And I just listened to it, skimmed through it. I was like, all right, man, I heard enough, man. Cut that off. Like, that ain't what I've been waiting for. Silly me. I did say, like, unless there's a video, and the video is, like, extra dope, I might have to see the video to, like, understand where he was going with that, unfortunately. It's not something you want to hang your hat on, but I'm going to just keep it a buck. I said it with my chest. I'm going to say it with my chest now. I apologize for my original statements on Kendrick's last single because that song is dope as fuck when you watch the video. And because of the way I heard the song, I didn't really get to get into it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. So, number one rule, man, you don't really get on anybody's microphone and talk shit about someone else's art without at least actually paying attention to it, and I didn't do that. So
I appreciate the visuals.
I owe myself.
The visuals
I
was cool.
that, and Kendrick, I apologize. That single is dope.
I still stand where I stand on it.
I can dig it.
The visual was cool. The Nipsey Hussle part was dope as fuck. I'll give him that. That's the one part of the song I like is how he
that shit gave me chills,
did it in Nipsey style and rap and what he's rapping about, which was cool. But as a whole,
I don't know if there's ever been a doper shout out, so to speak,
Not
to a
at
friend.
all. Not at all.
From another friend that was an artist.
That's
you know
hard as fuck. I'll agree with definitely.
Because of technology and all that
1,000,000%
shit, all that marries it. You know what I'm saying?
Agree with you there. Rapped in his style, did everything he could to really, and his hand movements was nip. His fucking, you could tell he studied nip, nigga, before he did that part.
Right, or he just knew him.
I'm talking about the hand movements,
no,
not
I get,
the
but
style.
But
and
at the same time, when you know somebody, like they grew up like low key together, they know each other. So it's like he probably could mimic his hand styles way before, just he probably did it before just fucking around. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's all I mean. And then you definitely if you're gonna do it like that, you go back and watch other little shits. And
if that's indicative to what the album sounds like, though, I'm not looking forward to it.
Sonically, I could agree with that. I'll concur. I didn't really care for the track sonically, but
if that show beats through
but
the whole thing,
the overall collective project, I got of that song, the visual, the sonics, that shit right there in itself, nigga, to me could get packaged and sold just visually.
But do you want a whole album of that?
I probably wouldn't.
I mean, every single song. I mean, he blesses you with a couple here.
I wouldn't prefer that. I wouldn't prefer that. But it'll probably be something that I can listen to once. Where I'm at right now in my life, I'll probably put it on when I'm in the car.
The way he talk about 7 Ways, fans be talking. He's a replay value every time.
Well, that's them.
And he's not, because I don't listen to Damn over and over again. I'll listen to tracks over and over again. I like Damn. It's a great album. Don't get it twisted. But it's not something I'm on trips going back to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just. J.
Cole shit, nigga, I'm playing that.
That just simply means you like J. Cole more than more than you like Kendrick shit. The problem I be having is when people try to act like music ain't subjective,
right? And
they try to change your mind. Like I'm just not listening to it, right?
I'm listening to exactly how I'm listening to it,
waiting, holding my breath for every Kendrick tweet to be like, oh my God, I did the math, and that means if you did it on this day, it's coming out then. Like,
and I get it. There's a lot of people out there. Kendrick probably saved their life in some way, but J. Cole the same way. Wayne, niggas, you the same way. A lot of niggas will save somebody's life, nigga. If they resonate with you, they resonate with you. But you gotta understand, not everybody's gonna get resonated with the same. And Kendrick don't resonate with me the way he resonates with his fans. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You're allowed to feel that way, but don't. Like you said, stop trying to sway my fucking opinion. You ain't gonna be. There's no. I could listen to it on acid and probably I'm gonna feel the same way. And there ain't no better way to listen to music than shroom and acid, nigga.
We'll leave it there, man. That's your take on it. I just had to get my shit off, man.
And that's been another episode of the
Always Talking Shit show. I'm your host, Akeem Magic. Peace and love.
You Always Talking Shit show.